This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the CEO of Rockridge Resources, Mr. Grant Ewing. Grant, how are you this morning?
I'm doing excellent, thank you.
We were joking off air that it's a heck of a time to receive exploration permits for a quality gold project. That's exactly what you announced this morning. You have now received an exploration permit for your Rainy Gold project in Ontario, Canada. You're planning drilling as early 2020, Q1, I believe. I would love to talk a bit more about the history of the project. We've talked in the past briefly about it, but there's a significant potential here if you can tap into some of these structures that you're going to be targeting.
Yeah, that's correct, Gerardo. And this is one of our core assets we hold with Rockridge. We have an option to earn 100% interest in the Rainy Gold project. And it's located driving distance from Timmins, Ontario, about 100 odd kilometers to the southwest. So this project has excellent access and infrastructure, which is very favorable. And it's located in the Timmins Gold District, or the southwest of this Timmins Gold District, that is famous for the production of ounces over the last 100 years. Over 50 million ounces produced in that camp. And what we're going to do with the Rainy Gold project is reactivate this project. It was about 10 years ago that the previous operator conducted exploration at the project. Gold was trading at around US $900 an ounce or so in those days. So we're at a much more favorable gold market today. And our initial focus will be on follow-up of a 6.5 gram per ton gold grade over 8 meters that was intercepted late in the program in 2009, 2010. And this is open for expansion down plunge and along strike at depth. So a great target to follow up on.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but you're targeting the gold-bearing structures and the mineralized shoots down plunge, and you want to get below that 150-meter level, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So the deepest drilling to date on this structure has been about at that level. And the best intercept was obtained at that level and never followed up. So that's our primary focus. This project has a surface exposure of a mineralized alteration shear zone that's been traced over a few hundred meters. And so the top part of this has been tested weekly in the past. And we see the real potential with the depth potential here.
Excellent. Tell me a bit about the infrastructure, because you have a pretty significant advantage there.
Yeah, the infrastructure is excellent. You can drive via pavement and secondary roads right to the drill site in under 2 hours from Timmins. To the west of us, Newmont Gold Corp just opened its newest gold mine about 35 kilometers west, the Borden mine. So there's lots of activity in the area, mining activity. Excellent infrastructure. So if we do get to the point of developing an economic reserve here, that bodes well for future development potential. The great infrastructure.
And how many meters and how many holes are you planning for the initial phase 1 exploration program?
Yeah, this phase 1 program will be in the order of 2,500 meters roughly, and that'll be comprised of 7 to 10 holes. Right now, we're just fine-tuning the planning, and this will, as we mentioned, follow up on this intercept that we have, the best intercept drilled historically, and expand that down plunge and at depth on strike.
Excellent. Looking forward a bit. I want to make sure that we touch on Knife Lake, because I know 2020 is going to be a pivotal year for the company, not just with Rainy, which obviously you're looking to target that high grade gold at depth, but Knife Lake is a deposit that I don't feel has gotten the recognition that I think 2020 is going to bring it. Can we talk a bit about that project?
Yes, certainly. So Knife Lake is our second core asset located in mining-friendly Saskatchewan, Canada. There we have one copper-dominated VMS deposit discovered, and when we got the option on this project, first step was doing an inaugural resource estimate that's 43101 compliant, and we completed that earlier this year. And then we followed that up with a summer program at Knife. And what it did was refine a lot of the high priority exploration targets within about a 6 kilometer radius of the Knife deposit. And we see excellent potential in expanding the resource there at the deposit scale as well as regionally in some of these high priority targets. The plan would be to look at advancing that program in terms of exploration in the summer and winter in 2020 as well. So we have 2 projects that are very active in 2020.
Perfect. So just so I can get it clear, Q1, we commence with drilling, hopefully in February. I'm assuming assays a couple of months, maybe 60 days after that. Would that be correct?
Yeah, that's roughly the schedule. It depends on sort of load at the assay labs, but roughly that time frame. We'd look to mobilize and get drilling in the January, February time frame, and it's about a 2-month program initially, the phase 1.
Fantastic. Grant, is there anything else that you'd like to add? I always love hearing your take on both the precious metals and the base metals, the macro take on each of those markets. Can you provide a bit of insight there?
Yeah, we've decided to focus in early 2020 on our Rainy project. We think the gold market is looking very conducive for investment attention right now. You know, gold recently broke out of this $1,400 range, price range, and after trading in a real sort of horizontal fashion for several years. So we like the technical aspects of the gold price projections going forward, and I think it times well with our Rainy program. And on the Knife Lake project, it's a copper-dominated story, and copper has been flatlining here for several years, but we think that the future bodes well for the price of copper. So we're happy to have that as our second core asset in Rockridge.
I think you're spot on with that. I'm looking forward to chatting again once drilling commences and you finalize the program. Grant, thank you so much for your time today.
Very good. Thank you very much.